Are you thinking about leaving Kajabi because of their most recent price increase? Well, before you make that decision, let me share what I've seen happen to many businesses as they switch platforms just to save money. And spoiler alert, the cheaper option usually costs you more, a lot more. In the next 10 minutes or so, I want to really just help you to discover the hidden costs that platform migration could actually cost you and your business. They're costs that could really destroy months of progress and cost you thousands in revenue in your business. If we've not met before, my name is Ant Hodges, author of the book Simplify the Funnel, and I've been a Kajabi partner since 2012. I've spent the last 20 years or so helping businesses to generate over 76 million in revenue by choosing simplicity over complexity. And systems and platforms are just one of those things that we talk about so much. So what I'm going to really just unpack for you here right now as we're together chatting about this is the way in which a lot of people are choosing to leave platforms like Kajabi when they go and increase prices. And I really want to chat through what the real cost to your business is if you're thinking about this. The reason I'm wanting to talk about this today is simply in response to a lot of the conversations I'm seeing online after Kajabi announced a whole host of platform updates, feature improvements, and yes, price increases on their plans during their recent Kajabi Evolved event. This includes the pricing changes that really have rocked some people's world. If you want to learn about the new features that are being talked about and were mentioned during this Kajabi Evolved event, then I've created another video. You can click here and it talks through in detail what those features are and my take on them. So make sure you check that out too. I want to be clear. I'm not trying to talk you into staying in Kajabi if it's genuinely not right for your business. But what I want to unpack are the real costs that switching really has an impact in your business that most people don't consider until it's too late. Here's what I've learned after serving businesses for a long time in this industry. Complexity is expensive. And platform switching is one of the most complex things you can do for your business, not just monetarily, but on a time perspective and on a brand engagement perspective with your customers. Over the last few years, everything that I've been teaching to my clients follows my minimum viable funnel framework in my book. It shows that you only really need 3 things to make an online business work. You need to capture attention, position offers, and deliver real transformation. We don't need complex systems to do this. And when you switch platforms, you're not just changing software, but you're disrupting every single touch point that your customers have had with your business since you've been running on the platform that you're on right now. So let me get into the weeds on what this is all really about, particularly if you're thinking about leaving Kajabi because of the recent price changes. The first thing is real cost. By switching to another platform, it's not just about the monthly fee. You need to think about the total cost to your business. When you migrate platforms, the consistency of your environment that your customers experience will break. Messages won't match, links won't work anymore, and the platform branding differs. Everything around your customer experience fragments, and your customers end up paying the price, not you. The second thing, time drain reality. I've watched businesses spend 3 to 6 months migrating platforms, and that's not just the maybe short window of setup time. The rest of that time is the lost revenue. While you're rebuilding everything, customers are served by other competitors because they haven't moved. They're not wasting their time trying to re-engineer things just because they've migrated platform. You know, you can export data import the data, test the integrations, fix all the broken links, retrain your team, and then retrain your customers on how to integrate with it all. And then you've got to update all of your marketing materials, your onboarding videos, and everything. Ultimately, the cheaper platform just costs you thousands in opportunity cost. The third thing, losing customers. People don't realize this, but your customers are going to be the ones that are going to walk when things get too complicated and they can't work out what to do. They're going to have to learn new login systems, new interfaces, new ways to access the content they've purchased. Some won't make that transition. You'll lose people who paid you money just because you wanted to save money. I've seen somewhere between 15 to 30% customer drop off during platform migrations. And that's people who we've helped move from one platform to Kajabi as well. So ask yourself, how much revenue is that worth to you to lose up to 30% of your customer base? It's certainly not a cost I would want to bear. Number 4, the support nightmares. During migration, you're going to need to become tech support for your customers. Where's my course? Or why can't I log in? Or this looks different. People are going to message you all the time on those things. And in reality, you don't want to be that tech support because you want to be the one serving with great content. I think for me, the true nature of a platform and the way in which any kind of business can support their customers in a human way has got to be a plus. Every pro plan in Kajabi now includes a dedicated customer success manager. You switch platforms and you're back to chatbots and help desk tickets and no real person that you can actually book a call with. So not just your customers having a challenge with the fact that they're going to have to learn everything, you're going to have to learn everything, and the support that you get isn't human like you would get if you were on the pro plan with Kajabi and you had your success manager that you could book a call with. You see, while most SaaS, software as a service platforms, are moving away from human support and they're pushing their AI chatbots, self-service knowledge bases and community forums just to cut costs, Kajabi is doing the opposite. They're adding more human touch points at the exact moment their competitors are removing them. And then the final point is the hidden complexity trap. This cheaper alternative that you're looking at, it might mean that you need to add multiple tools. I recently audited a business that was using 9 different tools after leaving Kajabi 6 months ago. While their subscription on this new platform was just $97 a month, it was a white label version of another system that actually the person who they were buying it from had just removed some of the features. And then they were told that they had to pay extra above their $97 a month for things like email send credits and other add-ons and tools. And fundamentally, far more headaches than what they had with Kajabi in the first place. After a conversation over the weekend, just through WhatsApp, they're now looking at how they might be able to come back, pay for the top tier of Kajabi to not get only the human support, but even like the branded app solution and all kinds of other things, just to remove some of these constant headaches as well. But my message, just consider what you're doing. 6 months ago, you moved away from Kajabi and you told all your customers you're moving away. Now just think about the fact that you're moving again. If you choose to do it, great, I'm here to support you. But I'm also here to support you if you want to stay with what you've currently got, and we can look at simplifying things. Whilst I'm a champion of the brand and I love the platform, Kajabi is just a tool at the end of the day. Your number one priority has got to be your customer experience. And if you are flipping from one to the other, whilst service providers and people like me can help you to do that, and they will gladly take your money, I want you to consider what it's going to do and the impact on your customer base. With lesser platforms out there, every integration that you put into your system is a failure point, and every tool switch is a learning curve. Every update could break connections. So consider what you're doing. They're the 5 things that really are the underpinning the true cost, the real cost of switching. From all the time I've spent in this online business world, I've watched businesses migrate their businesses into different platforms 3 or 4 or even 5 times in their lifetime, just chasing better deals. Each time it costs them more than staying put would have done. Most cheaper platforms have, hard limits for sending and products and all that kind of stuff. You need more contacts, you need to upgrade or migrate. Better platform for a better support, migrate or upgrade. While you're spending months rebuilding your business on a new platform, what you're not doing is you're not creating new products. You're not growing your revenue. You're not serving your customers. You're not building your audience. All you're doing is managing technology instead of building your business. So the real question is, saving $50 a month or $100 a month worth months of migration stress, customer confusion, and fundamentally revenue disruption in your business? Because that's the real cost comparison. For me, if these new Kajabi features don't help you generate the difference between your current plan and your new plan within a few months, or even if you're on the annual renewal by the end of 2026, something is fundamentally wrong with your business strategy. And they are not forcing you to move. Existing Kajabi customers, you've got until January 2026 to make this decision. So you've got months to put something in place to just take into account a 25% marginal increase on your monthly cost. If you need to move because you're simply just going on price, I want you to calculate the real cost. Take into account all of these other things that I've talked through and how it could impact your business. One sale of maybe a $2,000 program could be more than enough to cover your cost of just staying and bearing that price increase and getting access to all of the new features. And again, if you want to get access to that video where I talk about all the new features and just kind of talk it through and give you my opinion on all of that, then you can click here and watch that video. So let me be direct about when leaving a platform like Kajabi makes sense and when it doesn't. Leave the platform if you're generally outgrowing the platform's capabilities, you have highly specialized needs and require lots of custom solutions. If you're making under 10K a year and you need to minimize costs short term, maybe. And if you have a dedicated technical team to help you set up and manage all of the switchover, go, do it. But for me, leaving doesn't make sense when you're reacting emotionally to a price increase without calculating the true cost. When you want to save $50 to $100 a month, but don't want to lose your customers. You don't have months to spend setting up the migration and setup, and you value your time more than managing multiple tools. The brand new iPhone just came out. Apple hasn't gone to everybody who's got the previous phone and said, here, just have a new phone for free. That's not how things work. So why in the software world and systems world do many customers expect this? Netflix, Disney Plus, Apple TV, Prime, and many other entertainment platforms have all increased their monthly charges this year. But why do we want to stay with those? Why would we complain and moan about a platform that helps us to make money and grow a business be more of an objection when they increase their price than just a platform that we can waste time in front of a screen and just be entertained? The evolution of Kajabi makes perfect sense for me, and actually makes perfect sense for businesses who are serious about growth and tired of the complexity. The alternative is switching and building the same capability with separate tools that ultimately cost you more money, more time, and more stress. Time that could have been spent better serving your customers and growing your revenue, and money not in your pocket, but in the pockets of the affiliates and other platforms and their bank accounts. Whether you're new to Kajabi or you're already using it, I want you to head over to anthodges.com/Kajabi. If you're new to the platform, then you can get direct access to my extended 30-day trial and a few other bonuses. If you're an existing user, then there are some resources there that you can get access to that will help you to scale up your business as well. Kajabi is the platform that I build my entire business on. I'm going nowhere, and I would truly love to invite you to join the family or just to stay with us. Platform switching is one of the most expensive decisions you can make, not just in money, but in time, customers, and lost opportunities. Before you react to a price increase, whatever platform you're on, if they increase their prices, spend time to calculate the real cost rather than having the knee-jerk emotional reaction. Factor in the migration time, the customer loss, the support downgrade, and the opportunity lost in the whole switch over. Most of the time, that expensive platform, and I say expensive because it's typically more expensive to increase their price, is actually the cheapest option when you look at the total picture. Drop me a comment. Let me know if you've ever migrated platforms and you've been able to save time and money. Drop it out in the comment. But also, if you're thinking about it and you've got other questions, drop comments. Just let me know. Remember, complexity is expensive. Choose simple, choose stability, choose platforms that grow with you instead of forcing you to keep switching because of the functionality and the features. Think about that extra cost in your Kajabi subscription if you're an existing user as just an opportunity to give you a kick up the backside and make one more sale to cover the cost. Until next time, let's keep it simple.